A World in Chaos. The film opens in 2026, set in a war-torn Eastern European state, years after Joshua Guy Rose, Dennis Quaid reprising his role, abandoned his mercenary life following The Savior, 1998. Now, in his 70s, Joshua lives in hiding, haunted by his past, killing terrorists after his family's death and fighting in the Bosnian War. A news report reveals a new conflict. A rogue militia, led by Victor Drago, a grizzled new character, has seized a UN safe zone, holding hostages, including Joshua's estranged daughter, Elena, a young actress, whom he hasn't seen since she was a child. Act 1. The Reluctant Return. Joshua is approached by his old friend Peter, Stellan Skarsgård, now a UN peacekeeper who pleads for help. Victor, a former ally-turned-warlord, wields a stolen bioweapon from Joshua's past missions, threatening global stability. Elena, a humanitarian worker, was captured during a rescue attempt. Joshua, frail but determined, dons his old gear, revealing hidden strength. He recruits a young soldier, Luca, a new character, whose family Victor destroyed, mirroring Joshua's loss. Flashbacks reveal Joshua's journey. After The Savior, he sought redemption by aiding refugees, but guilt drove him into isolation. The bioweapon, a nerve agent codenamed Salvation, ties back to his mercenary days, hinting at corporate corruption funding Victor. Act 2. Into the Fire. Joshua and Luca infiltrate the safe zone, a crumbling fortress amidst snow-covered ruins. They face Victor's forces, battle-hardened mercenaries with advanced tech. Joshua's experience shines in tactical escapes, while Luca's recklessness tests their bond. They uncover Victor's plan. Use Salvation to force a ceasefire, then sell it to the highest bidder, framing the UN. A tense confrontation with Victor reveals his motive: revenge against Joshua for abandoning their unit years ago, leading to Victor's family's death. Elena, held captive, resists brainwashing, showing Joshua's resilience in her. The act ends with Joshua wounded, forcing Luca to take the lead as they plan a final assault. Act 3. Redemption's Price. The climax unfolds in the fortress's control room. Joshua, despite his injuries, confronts Victor in a brutal hand-to-hand fight, using improvised weapons amid collapsing structures. Luca frees the hostages, including Elena, who joins the fight with a stolen rifle. Joshua disarms Victor, but spares him, offering redemption, only for Victor to detonate a failsafe, releasing a diluted salvation gas. Joshua sacrifices himself, sealing the ventilation to contain the gas, saving the others. Luca and Elena escape as the fortress explodes. In the aftermath, Elena reads Joshua's journal, detailing his quest for forgiveness, passed to her as his legacy. The film ends with Luca vowing to continue Joshua's work, a new savior rising. Post-credits scene. A shadowy figure retrieves a salvation sample, hinting at a corporate conspiracy for a sequel. The Mask resurfaces. The film opens in present-day Edge City, 32 years after Stanley Ipkiss first donned the Loki mask. A construction crew unearths an ancient Norse artifact during a subway expansion, a cracked, glowing mask fragment. As workers marvel at it, the fragment pulses, releasing a spectral green energy that reforms into the full Loki mask, now pulsating with renewed power. The scene cuts to a chaotic montage, bank heists, cartoonish explosions, and a shadowy figure laughing maniacally, hinting at the mask's new wielder. Cut to Stanley Ipkiss, Jim Carrey, now in his 60s, living a quiet life as a retired bank clerk turned children's entertainer. His green suit hangs in a closet, a relic of his wild past. Tina Carlisle, Cameron Diaz, his former love, is a successful nightclub owner, and they share an awkward reunion at a charity event. Stanley's life is disrupted when news reports of a new masked figure, young thief Milo Jackson, a charismatic newcomer, wreak havoc, using the mask's powers with reckless abandon. Act 1. The Return of Chaos. Milo, a street-smart orphan with a heart of gold, stumbles upon the mask after the construction site theft. Donning it, he transforms into a zany, green-faced trickster, robbing banks to fund an orphanage. His antics, stretching limbs, summoning anvils, and flirting with danger, echo Stanley's past, but with a modern edge, including social media live streams that go viral. The city loves him, dubbing him the New Mask, but the police, led by Latier. Kellaway, Peter Green, reprising his role, see a criminal. Stanley recognizes the mask's signature chaos and confronts Milo, who idolizes him as a legend. During their meeting, the mask begins to speak, its voice deep and otherworldly, revealing Loki, voiced by a gravelly Tom Hiddleston, the Norse god of mischief, is awakening. The mask was never destroyed. It was a fragment of Loki's essence, and Milo's use has summoned him back to the mortal realm. A green portal opens, and Loki emerges, towering and menacing, demanding the mask's full power to reclaim his divine throne. Act 2. Loki's Revenge. Loki, stripped of his godly might by Odin centuries ago and bound to the mask, seeks to absorb enough chaos energy to break free. He possesses Milo, amplifying the mask's powers into a nightmarish form, cartoonish yet terrifying, with tendrils of green energy and a sinister grin. Edge City descends into pandemonium. Buildings twist into surreal shapes, citizens turn into animated caricatures, and Loki's laughter echoes through the streets. Stanley, urged by Tina, retrieves his old mask from a safe deposit box, transforming back into his green-suited self with a nostalgic flourish, complete with a dance number to Cuban Pete. His powers are rusty, but his experience gives him an edge. He teams up with Milo, who fights Loki's control from within, and Laetir, Kellaway, who reluctantly joins after seeing the godly threat. They discover an ancient Norse rune in the city museum, hinting that Loki's power can be sealed again with a ritual requiring 2 masks. Act 3. The Battle for Edge City. The climax unfolds at the Edge City clock tower, where Loki plans to unleash a chaos wave to conquer Earth. Stanley and Milo, both masked, engage Loki in a wild, physics-defying battle. Stanley uses classic gags, mallets, dynamite, and a piano drop, while Milo adds modern flair with drone attacks and meme-inspired attacks, e.g., a Rickroll energy blast. Loki counters with divine magic, splitting the sky with green lightning and summoning animated minions. Tina and Kellaway perform the sealing ritual, using the rune and a shard of the original mask. Stanley sacrifices his connection to the mask, transferring its energy to Milo, who expels Loki with a final, exaggerated punch, a green shockwave shaped like a cartoon fist. Loki is sucked back into the mask, which shatters into harmless fragments, its power dissipated. Milo, free of possession, chooses to retire the mask, passing its legacy to Stanley as a symbol of responsibility. Closing scene, a new legacy. The city rebuilds, and Stanley hosts a farewell show, unmasking himself to a cheering crowd. Tina kisses him, hinting at a rekindled romance, while Milo opens the orphanage, now funded by his heist loot, legally returned. The film ends with a comedic twist. A janitor sweeps up the mask fragments, only for one to glow faintly, teasing a future threat. Post-credits scene. In a Norse afterlife, Loki's spirit reforms, plotting with a shadowy figure, perhaps a new god or villain, setting up a sequel. A new threat emerges. The film opens on a distant planet, bathed in crimson light, where a shadowy figure, shrouded in a tattered cyan armor, stands atop a ruined battlefield. This is Tarok, a long-lost Saiyan survivor from a forgotten colony, his power suppressed for decades. A mysterious artifact, the Saiyan relic, pulses with energy in his hand, whispering of a destiny to reclaim the Saiyan legacy. As he activates it, a shockwave ripples across the universe, detected by the Dragon radar on Earth. Cut to Earth, where Goku and Vegeta spar in the hyperbolic time chamber, their Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego forms clashing with breathtaking force. Weiss interrupts, warning of an anomaly threatening the multiverse. Bulma, analyzing the signal, confirms it's tied to the Saiyan heritage, hinting at a connection to planet Vegeta's past. The Z-Fighters, Gohan, Piccolo, Trunks, Goten, and Krillin gather, sensing a new challenge. Act 1. The Call to Arms. Goku, eager for a fight, convinces Vegeta to join him, while Piccolo trains Gohan to master his beast form further. Meanwhile, Tarok arrives on a desolate moon, rallying a rogue faction of Saiyans who escaped Frieza's purge, including a young warrior named Kalia, torn between loyalty and doubt. The Saiyan relic grants Tarok the ability to amplify his power by absorbing the essence of fallen Saiyans, a dark twist on their warrior pride. On Earth, the Dragon Balls are gathered, and Shenron reveals the relic's origin. A creation of the ancient Saiyan king Yamoshi, intended to unite the race but corrupted by greed. Tarok plans to use it to conquer the multiverse, starting with Universe 7. Shenron warns that only a pure-hearted Saiyan can destroy it, leaving Goku and Vegeta to ponder their worthiness. Act 2. Battle Across Worlds. Tarok's forces invade Earth, unleashing a barrage of energy blasts that devastate West City. Goku and Vegeta engage Tarok, but his relic-enhanced power rivals their divine forms. Kalia, witnessing the destruction, hesitates, her memories of a peaceful Saiyan childhood resurfacing. Gohan and Piccolo protect civilians, with Gohan unleashing beast mode to hold off Tarok's elite guards. Weiss transports the team to the sacred world of the Kais, where old Kai reveals the relic's location, a hidden Saiyan tomb on a shattered planet in Universe 6. Beerus, annoyed but intrigued, agrees to assist, teleporting them via Whis. The journey reveals a flashback, Yamoshi, the first Super Saiyan god, sealing the relic to prevent its misuse, his spirit now trapped within. Act 3. The Tomb of Yamoshi. The team lands on the desolate planet, its surface littered with ancient Saiyan statues. Inside the tomb, they face traps and spectral Saiyan warriors guarding the relic. Tarok ambushes them, absorbing the spirits to become a monstrous Super Saiyan form, his armor fusing with the relic. Goku taps into Ultra Instinct perfection, while Vegeta evolves Ultra Ego with newfound control, their rivalry fueling their strength. Kalia defects, aiding Trunks and Goten in disabling the relic's defenses. A vision from Yamoshi's spirit guides Goku to the relic's core, where he must confront his own Saiyan pride. In a climactic battle, Tarok overpowers Vegeta, but Goku, embracing his pure heart, destroys the relic with a spirit bomb amplified by Kalia and the Z-Fighters' energy. Tarok, weakened, is finished off by a combined Kamehameha from Goku and Vegeta. Closing scene, a new legacy. The tomb collapses and Yamoshi's spirit is freed, thanking Goku for restoring the Saiyan honor. Kalia vows to rebuild the Saiyan race with peace, joining the Z-Fighters. Back on Earth, Bulma hosts a celebratory feast, with Beerus grudgingly admitting Goku's growth. The film ends with Goku staring at the stars, sensing a new power brewing, hinting at future threats. Post-credits scene. In Universe 11, Jiren meditates, his aura flaring as a voice whispers of the Tournament of Power's return, setting up a sequel. A quiet life shattered. In a cozy, snow-dusted home in Eastern Europe, February 2021, Ethan Winters tucks his 6-month-old daughter, Rosemary, into her crib. The air is warm, filled with the soft hum of a lullaby. His wife, Mia, reads a gothic fairy tale about a village and a witch, her voice soothing but tinged with unease. Ethan, still haunted by the horrors of the Baker house in Louisiana, Resident Evil 7, tries to embrace this new life under BSAA protection, but the peace is fleeting. Late that night, gunfire erupts. BSAA Captain Chris Redfield, a grizzled veteran, storms in with his Hound Wolf squad. Ethan's pleas are ignored as Chris shoots Mia dead before his eyes, her body crumpling to the floor. Soldiers seize Rosemary, and Ethan is knocked unconscious. He wakes in a wrecked transport van, snow falling softly outside, his daughter, and answers nowhere in sight. Stumbling into a foggy, decrepit village, Ethan's nightmare begins. Act 1. The Village of Shadows. The village is a Gothic ruin, its wooden houses adorned with garlic and bone charms, as if warding off evil. Ethan encounters a crazed old woman, cackling about Mother Miranda and the ceremony. Before he can question her, snarling, wolf-like lichens attack, their claws gleaming in the moonlight. Ethan fights them off with a scavenged pistol, his heart pounding as he realizes this is no ordinary place. In a survivor's hut, Ethan learns the village is ruled by Mother Miranda, a cult leader worshipped as a goddess, and her 4 lords, Alcina Dimitrescu, Donna Beneviento, Salvatore Moreau, and Carl Heisenberg. They control the region, and Rosemary has been taken for a ritual tied to Miranda's mysterious agenda. A note from the Duke, a jovial but enigmatic merchant, directs Ethan to a church where he finds a map and a cryptic warning. Find the lords, claim their flasks, save your daughter. Ethan's journey begins at Castle Dimitrescu, a towering, opulent fortress looming over the village. The Duke, stationed in a horse-drawn cart, offers supplies and cryptic advice, his warm demeanor hiding deeper knowledge. Armed with a shotgun and resolve, Ethan steps into the castle's gilded halls. Act 2. Castle Dimitrescu, the vampire matriarch. Inside, Ethan is captured by Alcina Dimitrescu, a 9-foot-tall noblewoman with a sultry voice and razor-sharp claws. Her 3 daughters, Bella, Cassandra, and Daniela, taunt him, their insect-like swarms and sadistic glee chilling his blood. Alcina reveals Rosemary is with Mother Miranda, and Ethan is merely prey for their amusement. Locked in the dungeons, Ethan escapes, navigating the castle's labyrinthine corridors, solving puzzles to unlock hidden passages, and avoiding the daughters, who dissolve into swarms when struck. Each daughter falls in turn. Bella in a sunlit courtyard, Cassandra in a library, Daniela in a fiery trap. Enraged, Alcina hunts Ethan herself, her claws slicing through marble as she transforms into a monstrous dragon-like creature. In a desperate rooftop battle, Ethan uses a sniper rifle to target her weak points, finally slaying her. From her corpse, he retrieves a crystal flask containing a strange substance, his first key to Rosemary. A file reveals Alcina's obsession with Miranda and experiments involving a bioweapon called the Kadu, hinting at the village's dark purpose. Act 3. House Beneviento, the puppeteer's nightmare. Ethan's next destination is House Beneviento, a fog-shrouded manor atop a cliff. The atmosphere shifts to psychological horror as Ethan descends into a basement workshop filled with eerie dolls. Donna Beneviento, a veiled, silent figure, and her sentient puppet, Angie, manipulate reality itself. Ethan's weapons vanish, and he's plunged into a hallucination. Mia, alive, begs him to save her, only to morph into a grotesque, multi-limbed, fetus-like creature. Navigating a twisted version of the house, Ethan solves puzzles involving a mannequin of Mia, cutting out a film reel to reveal hidden keys. The visions grow darker, memories of Louisiana, Rosemary's cries, until he confronts Angie, stabbing the puppet to break Donna's spell. Donna's flask is his, but her death reveals her tragic loneliness and Miranda's control over the lords through the Kadu, a parasitic organism granting them power but binding them to her will. Act 4, Moreau's Reservoir, The Abomination. The reservoir, a flooded valley reeking of decay, is home to Salvatore Moreau, a grotesque fish-like lord. Ethan navigates rotting docks and sunken ruins, evading Moreau's acidic vomit and aquatic ambushes. The Duke provides a boat, and Ethan drains the reservoir to confront Moreau, who mutates into a colossal, eel-like beast. Using explosives and a machine gun, Ethan kills him, claiming the third flask. Moreau's lab exposes more of Miranda's experiments. The Kadu, derived from the mold bioweapon, was used to create the lords and lichens, all in pursuit of a perfect vessel for Miranda's ambitions. Ethan finds a photo of Miranda with Eveline, the bioengineered child from Resident Evil 7, raising questions about her motives. Act 5. Heisenberg's Factory, The Engineer's Rebellion. Carl Heisenberg, the final lord, lures Ethan to his industrial fortress, a sprawling factory of grinding gears and cybernetic horrors. Heisenberg, charismatic and rebellious, proposes an alliance. Use Rosemary's potential to destroy Miranda. Ethan refuses, horrified by Heisenberg's callousness. The factory is a gauntlet of soldats, mechanical monstrosities with drill arms, and traps. Heisenberg reveals Rosemary is no ordinary child. Her mold-infected biology makes her a target for Miranda's ritual. In a climactic battle, Heisenberg transforms into a massive, magnetic beast, hurling metal debris. Ethan, aided by a makeshift tank crafted from factory parts, destroys him, securing the final flask. A hidden lab shows Heisenberg's failed experiments to rival Miranda, and Ethan learns the flasks contain pieces of Rosemary's body, preserved by the mold. Act 6. The Truth of Mother Miranda. With all flasks, Ethan returns to the village's ceremonial site, a cavern glowing with bioluminescent mold. Chris Redfield reappears, revealing the truth. The Mia he shot was Mother Miranda, who had shape-shifted to infiltrate Ethan's life. Miranda, a scientist from the early 20th century, discovered the megamycete, a cave of mold that stores consciousness. Desperate to resurrect her daughter Eva, who died in 1919, Miranda experimented with the Kadu, creating the lords and kidnapping villagers to find a vessel. Rosemary, born of mold-infected parents, is her ideal host. Miranda appears, her winged angelic form a facade for her true, grotesque power. She rips Ethan's heart out, leaving him to die as she begins the ritual to transfer Eva's consciousness into Rosemary. But Ethan, sustained by the mold since Louisiana, clings to life. Chris equips him with heavy weaponry, and they assault Miranda's stronghold, battling mold mutants and lichens. In the final showdown, Ethan faces Miranda's mutating forms, spider, bird, shadow, unleashing everything he has. As the megamycete threatens to erupt, Ethan sacrifices himself, detonating a bomb to destroy it and Miranda, ensuring Rosemary's safety. His body crumbles, his mold-sustained life finally spent. Closing scene, a new beginning. Chris rescues Rosemary, evacuating her as the village burns. In a helicopter, he vows to protect her and expose the BSAA's complicity in Miranda's experiments. In a flash forward, a teenage Rosemary, now a young woman, visits a grave, Ethan's. She places a flower, her powers hinting at her mold legacy as she walks away, ready to face her own destiny. Governments and corporations have clamped down on genetic research following the biosyn scandal. Yet whispers of covert operations persist. On a remote island in the Pacific, once a forgotten Jurassic Park research outpost, a hidden secret lies dormant, a facility housing the last remnants of InGen's most dangerous experiments. The world is unaware that this island holds the key to a medical breakthrough that could change humanity forever. Act 1. The mission Zora Bennett, Scarlett Johansson, a seasoned covert operations specialist, is recruited by a secretive pharmaceutical conglomerate, Neogenics, for a high-risk mission. Neogenics has discovered that the DNA of 3 massive, prehistoric creatures, referred to as the Triad, a Titanosaurus, a mutated velociraptor, and a colossal Aqualops, holds the key to a revolutionary cure for a deadly global virus ravaging human populations. The catch? These creatures are confined to the abandoned Isla Tartarus, a heavily guarded, off-the-grid island where InGen once conducted its most unethical experiments. Zora assembles a team. Henry Loomis, Jonathan Bailey, a brilliant but socially awkward paleontologist obsessed with dinosaur behavior. Duncan Kincaid, Mahershala Ali, a pragmatic exobiologist and Zora's trusted second-in-command. Elena Morales, Luna Blaze, a tech-savvy hacker who can bypass the island's outdated security systems. Their mission is simple, in theory. Infiltrate the island, extract DNA samples from the Triad, and escape before Neogenics' rival, a shadowy paramilitary group, beats them to it. Meanwhile, a parallel storyline introduces the Carter family: Sarah, Jodie Foster, a former park ranger, her teenage son, Milo, Rupert Friend, and her young daughter, Lila, Isabella Merced. Their yacht is caught in a storm and shipwrecks on Isla Tartarus, stranding them in a jungle teeming with dangers they can't comprehend. Act 2. The Island of Nightmares. As Zora's team lands on Isla Tartarus, they find a lush but eerie landscape littered with the ruins of InGen's research facility, rusted fences, overgrown labs, and ominous claw marks. The island's ecosystem is a chaotic blend of dinosaurs, some familiar, like velociraptors, and others grotesquely mutated, the result of InGen's reckless genetic tampering. The team's advanced tech, including drones and tranquilizer rifles, gives them confidence, but Henry warns that the Triad are unlike anything they've studied: intelligent, territorial, and unpredictable. The first encounter with the Triad is harrowing. The Titanosaurus, a towering sauropod with jagged, armor-like scales, nearly crushes their camp during a nighttime ambush. Elena's drones capture footage of the mutated velociraptor, its feathers glowing faintly in the dark, stalking them with chilling precision. The Aqualops, a massive ceratopsian with a venomous horn, proves elusive, lurking in the island's swampy depths. Each attempt to collect DNA pushes the team to their limits, with Ruben's survival skills and Duncan's scientific expertise barely keeping them alive. Meanwhile, the Carter family stumbles upon the same facility, seeking shelter. Sarah, drawing on her ranger experience, recognizes the island's dangers, but is unprepared for the scale of the mutations. Milo, rebellious and curious, ventures too far and triggers an old InGen alarm, alerting both Zora's team and the rival paramilitary group, led by the ruthless operative Voss, Raul Esparza. The alarm also awakens the facility's dormant AI, which begins reactivating deadly security measures, including electrified fences and automated turrets. Act 3. The Shocking Secret E. Zora's team and the Carters cross paths, tensions flare. Sarah distrusts Zora's corporate-backed mission, suspecting Neogenics has ulterior motives. Henry, however, bonds with Milo over their shared fascination with dinosaurs, while Lila's quick thinking saves Elena from a pterodactyl attack. The groups reluctantly join forces when Voss's mercenaries arrive, heavily armed and intent on seizing the Triad's DNA for their own employer, a black market bioweapons syndicate. Deep in the facility, the team uncovers the shocking secret. Isla Tartarus was InGen's testing ground for Project Rebirth, an attempt to create hybrid dinosaurs capable of surviving extreme conditions, including potential extraterrestrial environments. The Triad were the project's crowning achievements, engineered not just for survival, but as living weapons with enhanced intelligence and resilience. Neogenics's cure is a cover. The DNA is meant to fuel a new era of bioengineered soldiers, a truth Duncan confirms after decoding encrypted InGen files. Zora, torn between her loyalty to the mission and her growing unease, faces a moral dilemma. Duncan urges her to destroy the DNA samples, while Henry argues they could still save lives if used ethically. Sarah, hardened by loss, insists they burn the facility to the ground to prevent another Jurassic Park disaster. The decision is complicated when Voss's forces corner them, unleashing a pack of mutated velociraptors to flush them out. Act 4. Survival and Sacrifice. The climax unfolds in a heart-pounding sequence as the team and the Carters fight to escape the island. The facility's AI, now fully active, releases the Triad, leading to a chaotic battle. The Titanosaurus smashes through Voss's helicopters, while the Aquilops charges through the jungle, its venomous horn incapacitating mercenaries. Zora and Ruben lead a desperate plan to lure the creatures into a trap, using Elena's hacked drones to detonate the facility's fuel reserves. In a tragic turn, Duncan sacrifices himself to save Lila from the mutated velociraptor, using his knowledge of its behavior to distract it long enough for the others to escape. Zora, grappling with guilt, destroys the DNA samples, choosing to protect the world from Project Rebirth's legacy. The facility erupts in flames, consuming the Triad and Voss's forces, but the team and the Carters escape on a salvaged boat, narrowly avoiding a pursuing Mosasaurus that emerges from the depths in a jaw-dropping final scare. Epilogue. A new dawn as the survivors sail toward the mainland. Henry reflects on the dinosaurs' resilience, wondering if humanity can coexist with such forces of nature. Sarah vows to expose Neogenics's corruption, while Zora, hardened but hopeful, promises to protect Milo and Lila. In a quiet moment, Henry notices a strange signal on Elena's salvaged InGen device, a faint transmission from another island, hinting that Project Rebirth may not be entirely dead. The story closes with a shot of Isla Tartarus burning, its secrets sinking into the ocean, but a distant roar suggests the Jurassic legacy endures.